Welcome to the Central Texas College District Safety Training. This training covers general safety procedures as well as emergency evacuation and lockdown procedures. Your points of contact for this information are Deborah Shibley, Director of Risk Management; Michelle Jenkins, Assistant Director of Risk Management; and Mary Wheeler, Chief, CTCD Police Department. We pride ourselves on our customer service. Above all, we want to create a safe environment for all of our customers. Before we could create the safe environment for our customers, we needed to figure out just who our customers were. CTC employees need safe places to work and CTC students need safe places to learn. From this we determined that both the students and employees are our customers.
Our goals are twofold. First, we want to try to anticipate and prevent safety hazards. Second, we want to prepare everyone as much as possible to respond appropriately and safely in emergency situations. Notice I said, respond appropriately, not react. People who prepare are able to respond in emergencies. Reacting in an emergency could get you hurt, or worse. CTC faculty and staff play a big part in keeping our campus safe. You have a few specific roles you must take on in order to fulfill your part.
If you are not sure of the hazards associated with your position, ask your supervisor to explain them to you. First, you must be aware of the risk factors that come with your specific position. Each position on campus has inherent safety hazards. Whether you are in facilities maintenance, working with heavy machinery, or you are faculty, teaching in the classroom, you all have hazards that you need to be aware of. Second, you must be aware of the risk factors for the building, or area, where you work. Again, each different work area has unique hazards that you need to be aware of.
You may need to take multiple areas into consideration because not all of us stay in the same room or building throughout the workday. Knowing these hazards will ensure your time at CTC is safer. You can also pass this information on to visitors in your area as needed. Third, be familiar with CTC's safety policies. You don't need to memorize all of the policies, but you should read through all of them so you are familiar with the general idea of each for future reference.
No matter where you work or what your job is, you need to view the entire campus, students, visitors, and co-workers, as your customer. In times of emergencies, those who do not work in your area will look to you for assistance, and it is part of your job to help keep them safe.
Another of your roles is to report all unsafe conditions you find on campus. Unsafe conditions can be reported to either your supervisor, your building coordinator, facilities management, or directly to risk management.
You should report incidents even if no one gets hurt. If it caused an incident, such as tripping, it is a hazard. The next person who encounters that hazard may be seriously injured.
So, report it even if you don't get hurt. Also, there are very specific timelines in regards to workmen's compensation. If you wait too long before reporting an incident, you may not be covered. Along with your other roles, you need to keep yourself and other building occupants safe. You can do this by being familiar with emergency procedures. If you provide your emergency contact information to your supervisor, make sure and keep it updated. Risk management requests updates from supervisors every fall, but don't wait until then to give updated information to your supervisor. If your information changes, notify your supervisor.
You should make a plan on how you will safely assist others, and you should do this before emergencies occur. Part of this plan involves knowing your building's evacuation exits. Don't just focus on those exits closest to your primary position, you need to know all exits. Even if you don't work on the second floor of a building, you should know how to evacuate downstairs. When evacuating downstairs, stay to the right and proceed in a single file. Emergency personnel may be going up the stairs while you are going down, do not get in their way.
You also need to know how to use an evacuation chair for assisting mobility impaired people down the stairs. Again, you should know this even if you don't work on the second floor of a building. Emergencies can happen when you are conducting business away from your normal area. Be prepared. Risk management, working in conjunction with the drafting department, has created building posting that are mounted in strategic locations throughout CTC buildings.
All classrooms and common areas are to have these postings displayed. These maps show primary and secondary evacuation routes, along with fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and AED locations. Areas shaded in blue indicate shelter-in-place locations. For your reference, Risk Management has placed the CTC Safety Policies and Procedures Manual on the CTC Safety and Security webpage. The primary building coordinator in each building has a printed version of this manual. Contact your building coordinator if you would like to sit down and read through a hard copy version. You can also, with approval from your supervisor, order a printed version for your office from the campus printing department. Safety Policy 200 outlines safety training requirements.
Managers and supervisors are required to train all new employees in their department regarding safety hazards and procedures within the department. Supervisors and managers are also required to conduct training for all departmental employees twice a year. Training can be on various safety topics, and supervisors and managers must ensure the training is effective, not just a signature on a piece of paper. Supervisors and managers can help plan their training sessions by auditing for hazards in their areas and monitoring their employees for compliance with safety requirements and proper use of protective gear.
Feel free to call Risk Management if you would like some assistance and ideas.
Safety Policy 140 provides guidance on departmental safety inspections. Each department should conduct a safety inspection every month. It would be a good idea to set up a rotating roster, that way the inspections are not performed by the same person every time.
Inspection form templates, one for offices and one for shops or labs, can be found in Section 5 of the Safety Policies and Procedures Manual. You can modify these forms to fit your departmental needs. During an evacuation drill, everyone must leave the building immediately. Do not delay, or try to return, to collect your belongings. When the alarm goes off, get out. Don't take time to lock your desk, log off of the computer, lock file cabinets, dig through your desk to find your cell phone or whatever. If there is something you absolutely cannot live without, keep it on your desk, within easy arm's reach so you can grab it and go.
As you are leaving, close doors behind you. However, do not lock doors. If a door is one that it propped open because it is always locked, do not close it. Closed doors help contain a fire, but a locked door impairs firefighters in their efforts. Fire drills are only conducted 3 or 4 times a year, so chances are you will only have to participate once a year. Don't make a big deal of it. Everyone is expected to cooperate and ensure the drill runs smoothly for all. So, just stop what you are doing and leave the building in an orderly fashion. Go to the designated meeting place and enjoy the fresh air.
Drills are conducted in conjunction with Killeen and Coppers Cove fire departments. The main goal in an evacuation is to get everyone out of the building, safely, in less than 2 minutes. If you are in a burning building for more than 2 minutes, your chances of getting out diminish exponentially with every second you are in there. After the first 2 minutes you will start to smell smoke, with the smoke come toxic fumes that impair your breathing.
Soon the ceiling starts to weaken and burning debris begins to fall. That's when confusion and panic start to set in, making you breathe harder and deeper, sucking in even more toxic fumes. And, before you know it, you are lying on the floor wishing you would have kept those keys in your pocket, and not in a locked desk drawer. If you are a supervisor, keep your emergency contact list updated. You cannot force employees to provide you with their contact information, but you should talk with them, reassure them that the information will only be used in emergency situations. Remind them that the information will be kept confidential, between the supervisor and risk management. You should know all of your available evacuation routes, primary and secondary. Supervisors should designate a meeting place for employees or students under their control. The meeting place must be at least 300 feet from the building and away from where emergency response vehicles may be located. Be specific when telling students and employees where to meet after they evacuate the building. You may want to develop a map and give everyone a copy. That way there should be no question as to where the meeting place is.
Once you arrive at the meeting place, conduct a head count. One way to make this easier is to use the buddies system. With the buddies system, if an employee, or student, is going to be out of the area, they should let someone, a buddy, know that they are leaving, and tell them where they are going. This can be very helpful information after an evacuation, especially if that person has not provided emergency contact information. It saves you from possibly sending emergency responders into a burning building looking for someone who wasn't in there to begin with. Report anyone who is missing to the proper authorities such as risk management personnel, a police officer, or other first responder. And remember, no one is to re-enter the evacuated building until the all clear is given. We've all heard it before, but I will remind you again. During an evacuation, use the stairs, not the elevators. I don't mean just during a fire. Any emergency situation, such as a severe storm, earthquake, or terrorist attack, could knock out the power, rendering an elevator inoperative. Also, properly exiting by way of the stairs is critical. As mentioned earlier, keep to the right side of the stairs so emergency personnel can get upstairs without encountering resistance. Be aware of, and assist in, the evacuation of individuals who may require the use of an evacuation chair. If you are unsure how to use an evacuation chair, contact risk management. If for some reason you are unable to evacuate or you get trapped during an evacuation, stay as low to the floor as possible. Attempt to block smoke from entering the room through vents or under the doors. If you can, place a cloth over your nose and mouth to help filter some of the smoke out. You can make this filter even better if you can get the cloth wet. A wet cloth blocks even more smoke and toxic fumes. If possible, call 911 and let them know you are trapped. Give them the building and room number where you are so they can contact emergency personnel on scene. If there is a window in the room, put a sign, or some other type of signal, in the window that may help people outside know you are there. Make loud noises that could alert emergency personnel to your whereabouts. Bang on the wall or kick the door or whatever is available that you can use to make noise.
If you are ordered to shelter in place, move to an interior room that has no windows or outside doors. These areas are identified by the blue shading on building postings. Do not go to the outside doors and windows to try and see what is going on. Do what you can to prevent others from going to the doors or windows also. Shelter in place may be ordered for any number of reasons such as severe weather, toxic spills, or other threat on or around campus. Stay in your shelter location until given the all clear by a person in authority. For more information on shelter in place, refer to Safety Policy 300. Lockdown is slightly different than shelter in place. Additional lockdown information can be found in Safety Policy 115, Safety Guidelines for Active Shooter on Campus, and, in Safety Policy 300, Disaster Emergency Management Incident Command System. A lockdown will only be ordered in an emergency situation, such as a shooter, or other imminent threat on, or near campus. When a lockdown is ordered, you should immediately take shelter in a secure location. You should lock all doors in your area and do not go to the windows and outer doors to see what is happening outside.
When CTC went into lockdown in November 2009, people ran to the doors and windows to see if they could see the shooter. This just provides a shooter with easy targets. Don't do it.
One of the key principles of lockdown that everyone should follow is, once the lockdown is ordered, no one comes in the building, and no one leaves the building. There is one exception to this rule. If you know the shooter is in your building, and you can get out safely, get out. Otherwise, stay in your secure location.
If someone wants to leave while you are under a lockdown, do not attempt to physically stop them. You can talk to them and try to reason with them, but do not fight with them. Tell them they are not just putting themselves in danger. They are jeopardizing the safety of everyone in the building.
If someone bangs on the door demanding to get in, even if you know the individual outside, do not unlock the door to let them in. tell them to get off campus if they can. If they cannot get off campus, tell them to move away from the sound of any apparent danger and hide.
Anyone not complying with the lockdown should be reported to CTCD police after the all-clear is given. If you happen to be outside when a lockdown is ordered, if you can do so safely, get off campus immediately. If you can't get off campus, you will need to find a place to hide. Hide behind a car, a tree, or a trash dumpster. Put something between you and the shooter. If you hear gunshots, or other sounds of danger, move in the opposite direction if you can do so without putting yourself in further danger. Do not move towards the commotion in an attempt to see what is happening. Do not make yourself a target.
If you have a phone, call 911 as soon as you can do so safely and provide them with any information you may have about the location, direction, or description of the shooter. When sheltering inside a building, you should try to find a room that can be locked from the inside. Try to barricade the door with whatever you can find, such as desks, chairs, and tables. Close and barricade windows. And turn off all the lights. Stay quiet, and silence all cell phones. A ringing cell phone is a dead giveaway to a shooter. For interior doors with windows, CTC developed and incorporated the use of window shades. Use these shades to cover an interior door window and relay the status of the people inside the room.
Each room that has an interior door with a window is equipped with a two-sided removable window shade. If the room is secure, and everyone inside is okay, display the white side of the shade. If the room is secure, but someone needs medical attention, display the black side. As a general rule, during normal, non-emergency operations, unoccupied rooms should have the shades over the windows with the white side facing out. All outside windows should have blinds. These blinds should be closed during a lockdown. If there is more than one person in the room, you should spread out. If you huddle together, it makes an easier target if the shooter enters the room. You should take cover, stay low to the floor, get behind or under a piece of furniture or some other barrier. Quietly talk to others in the room with you and make a plan. You will need to decide what each of you will do if the shooter enters the room.
You may decide to rush the shooter as a group, or maybe one person will distract the shooter while others rush in to try and take the shooter down. If you know the shooter is in your building, and you have a cell phone, quietly call 911 to report the situation. Do not assume someone else has already called 911. The more information provided about the situation, the quicker emergency personnel can respond. You can increase your chances of survival by preparing in advance. There are a few things you should do before an emergency happens. All CTC employees are entered into the CTC Emergency Alert System, E2 Campus, with their email address. However, you should update this information. Log on to WebAdvisor from the CTC faculty and staff webpage and click the Emergency Alert button. Once you have logged in, you can choose to be notified by voice message, text message, email, or all three.
Knowing how to lock the doors in your area can be a crucial step in an emergency. Some door locks on campus require special action, such as pressing the Privacy On button on the inside of classroom doors. If you work in a room with this type of lock, learn how to properly use it in an emergency.
Know how to silence your cell phone. It may sound silly, but turning the ringer off on your cell phone could save your life. Know your building, and be familiar with buildings you frequently visit. Know the locations of rooms that lock. Know what you can use as a barricade in different areas. Know where the closest exit is in case you need to get out quickly. For additional information, please read Safety Policy 115, and know how to respond in advance. It could save your life and the life of others around you.
Knowing how to respond in advance also helps mentally prepare you in the event of an actual emergency. Sometimes you need to think about the things you don't want to think about. During a lockdown, follow all orders from campus and local police officials. If the police enter the room where you are hiding, don't make any sudden moves. Stay down, and show your hands to let them know you do not have a weapon. Answer their questions, but do not try to engage the police officers in conversation. They are not there to provide you with a situation briefing. They are there to find the shooter and end the emergency situation. Let them do their jobs. After the police have exited your area, stay hidden in your secure location until you receive the all clear order from the police. Just because the police have been there does not mean it's safe to come out.
If you hear an all clear, but you're not sure where it came from, or something doesn't seem right, stay put and wait. Someone will come for you when the emergency has been resolved.
During a lockdown, do not respond to fire alarms unless you are certain there is a fire in the building you are in. Shooters have been known to set off a fire alarm in an attempt to flush people out of a building. Don't respond to unknown voices until you can verify they are the police. Remember, campus police have keys to open all doors on campus. They will never knock and ask you to open the door.
Either of these scenarios could be the shooter trying to get you out of hiding. You should also consider trying to escape through a ground floor window if it can be done without putting yourself in further danger. If you're not sure whether or not it's safe to come out of hiding, don't. If you have a cell phone, access to a radio, or access to a computer, you can use it to stay updated during a lockdown. If you are using an audio source, keep the volume as low as possible. If you use a radio, tune to KNCT 91.3 on the FM dial. For computers, you can stream KNCT at www.knct.org/stream.htm. CTC has 4 different communication systems that are currently used to notify and pass information to employees and students. Mass notification can be made through the campus telephone intercom system. Campus police can conference call 30 phones at a time to send out notifications. We also have an automated telephone notification system that calls each phone on campus individually.
As mentioned earlier, we have the E2 Campus Emergency Alert System that can send voice, text, and email notifications. We also have an outdoor siren system that is used for evacuation purposes only. The City of Killeen conducts a silent test of the system every month. Thanks for attending this training session. This training is a recurring event.
See you in 2 years. Have a great day.